Hey there, inspired oracle makers. It's Kristen, and I just wanted to take you through a deck in progress. This is a style I don't typically make because I'm doing it by hand as opposed to doing it on my computer using my Google Slides. I'm actually cutting and pasting things with this one. Which I usually find a little bit more frustrating, but at the same time, I do like to get off the computer and just use my hands. Sometimes it helps me to slow down and it's very meditative. So I'm just kind of gonna just show you what I'm doing. You can approach this in any way that you want. This is really just an oracle, I would say oracle / inspiration deck. And for me, it's kind of nature themed. At least that's the kind of loose theme that I'm working with here. The main thing I just wanted to say that I think is really important, particularly when you're making a deck like this and you're using just different pieces, it's, you know, more of a collage or mixed media type of deck, or you're using images from different sources, is that it's always easier in my mind to make a cohesive deck if you use things that look similar, or they're from the same artist or from the same book, or place, etc., etc. It just makes the deck feel more cohesive, and to me it just works better. I have a lot of trouble when I use decks that are from completely different artists, like the imagery just doesn't work together. So these are a couple things to think about. And right now I just have these 6 cards, and I'm going to put another one together. I've kind of been doing them in sets of 6, but I'm going to just show you just the pieces and the thought process that I'm going through in terms of putting them together. So when you look at these 6, I'll just put them on top of each other. And this is my hands. You can see they're rather large. And so hopefully you can see some similarities in these cards. I have, most of them have a this writing, like a kind of like a typewriter font. And then I have one that is just a sticker, but all of these are actually stickers. What I've done, what I'm doing as my base, and I always like to have a base. That to me is what makes something more or less cohesive, is kind of start with one base. Again, whether it's like a magazine or a type of magazine, or something that's like your base, so that you have a cohesive flow, and then add different elements to it. So I'll show you what I'm using. I'm actually started with a book that I deconstructed. This is, like it says, deconstructed. So this is the front of the book. And it's just a really neat kind of journal book that I was never going to use as a journal. So I took the pages and just took all of the pages out. And you can see there's just a lot of really neat things. Like I said, I really am not going to use it for journaling, but I love all the images. And it is a collage kind of art style. So every page really does look very different, but since the whole book is from one artist with one kind of perspective, you do get a theme. There is some continuity in terms of the pages, even though, as you can see with the pages, it's all different types, of art. Some of it's drawing, some of it's photos, some of it's vintage, some of it looks more modern. So I thought this would be a good start in terms of the base of these cards. And so first I'm really pulling from here first. Then I might add, haven't decided yet, but I probably will, add in some from this deconstructed book. This is Really Grimm's Doodle Diaries. This is for my shadow cards. And this is just a really, again, it's more like a journaling kind of book for kids. It's like an activity book. I really like this particular page, this spider. Put something in there. I don't know, or maybe even this part here at the bottom. I'm not sure yet, but I haven't really taken too much time to look through it, but I'm going to look through this one as well and see if I can't make a few cards that would be more shadow kinds of cards. And then what I'm using for the rest of it are stickers. So this particular card, this is stickers. These are stickers. This bike is a sticker. The words are stickers. So I found some stickers in, let's see. This is the happy quotes from this Happy Quotes. So I'm using some of these stickers. And then I also have the Tim Holtz small talk stickers. There's at least 2 of these styles of stickers. And so these have white and black backgrounds. And so I've been using those, and they look similar, you know, because they look like typing. So they look similar enough that even though they're coming from a different place, they have, you know, a similar kind of look to them. So I think that's important, again, just to keep it kind of consistent. Now, I will do more with just a regular sticker as opposed to these word stickers. I mean, this is a word sticker too, but it definitely looks different from these. So I'll have enough of these that they'll all kind of mix together and I think still make a cohesive looking deck. I think it's also important to think about the vibe that you want with the deck. You know, do all the cards feel like they belong to the same collective? Do they all have the same energy or mood? So that's why I'm still figuring out with the shadow cards, but I always like a deck with some shadow, so I know I probably will go ahead with that. So how am I putting these together? Oh, let me show you one more thing. I also found these Vera Bradley wrapping paper books. Look how gorgeous these pages are. This is one book. And this is another book. And I found these, you know, I find these in really cheap kind of places, you know, like Ollie's or Dollar Trees and things like that. And really when I see something that I like, I usually just go ahead and get it because you never know if it's going to be there when you come back to those kinds of stores. And I didn't really know what I was going to use this for. I just knew that it was just really pretty. So what I'm using these for, you can see some of the paper in this backdrop. So I'm using them for backdrops, but I'm also using them for the backs of the cards. I think I'm gonna try to do a different one on each card back, but we'll see. But I think they just look really pretty for the card backs. And to me, this is still kind of like a nature theme. You know, her work they all look like flowers and things like that. So well, that's kind of where things are right now. And so this is what they look like right now. And then I plan to just make more of these, but I don't know exactly how many I'm gonna make. Now, the way that I'm making these is I'm just taking some basic index cards. These are the larger ones. These are 4 by 6 inches. These are ones I found at the Dollar Tree, so they're kind of a little bit flimsy, but I actually like them this way because I'm putting, you know, different layers on here. And so I think it works best because I'm heat laminating these. And so when you get something that's too thick, it won't go through the heat laminator. So this one I've cut out of the book, and I kind of like it just with the LOL and the ha 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 as a card about laughter. But I don't want this part, so I'm going to cover that part up. And then I was thinking just something that would match color-wise, doesn't have to be perfect. So maybe putting, this is just from a sticker book, a planner, putting something in here just to cover it, and then maybe adding this LOL because it's in the same color scheme there. So for this one, it's going to be a little different because I don't think I want to add a specific line of text. I think the card is just going to kind of stand on its own. So I'm just covering this up. Yeah, so my goal is just to cover up that little section. I'm just going to cut this off. Now, I think I'm just going to put the LOL here somewhere. I usually like for things to go straight across, but let's see how it looks if I put the LOL here. Because I don't want to cover up the mouth or the ha. And that still kind of blends in a little bit. So now I'm going to take this sheet. I'm not going to actually do this because all my gluing and stuff is at another table. That's very messy and hard to see right now. So what I'm going to do is just put this and just glue, and I'm just using glue stick for this. And I'm just going to glue this down to one side. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to find one of those Vera Bradley papers and glue it to the back. And then I laminate it. I usually have found that I can get 3 of these pieces into one laminating sheet. And so when I do 2 more, I'm going to laminate these, and then I corner round the edges. And so that's just the process that I've been going through. Like I said, you can figure out what works for you. I know some of you make things by hand like this all the time, or you work with mixed media, so use whatever you already know And I really, personally, I know some people don't laminate things, but I like a nice smooth surface. I don't want these to be pulling up, and you know, I like to really just kind of shuffle. And I'll probably, for these, since they're a little bit bigger, you know, I can still do an overhand shuffle pretty well. And I might take them and just spread them out and pick them even by colors. That's another reason why I like all the different colors. So I definitely like for them to be laminated, but it's completely up to you. So once I get 2 more, then I'll run it through and I will show you what these look like once I've done some more. Like I said, I only have 6 now. We'll just kind of see how it goes, and as this project develops, I will show you some more images.